forces, high forces.
We are finally here, ladies and gentlemen. After waiting this long, we had to get another hiatus from Berserk. When I'm like, no, not now, not now of all times. Not when we're now about to have like this big question that we've wanted for the longest time on Casca. Whether or not that she can actually even be properly healed or not, that we can have the true Casca return into Berserk. But let's just jump right into it right now with chapter 347. So yeah, you guys probably have already heard by now the fact that we are going to be having this hiatus, and that the fact that Miura has confirmed that the series is going to be coming back early 2017. So, you know, even still the fact that still a couple of months we've still got to wait and all that, which hurts a lot, where it's like we've got something like this. And generally I think the main reason this is like with the hiatus and all that and going into it is especially because of this chapter and maybe him planning some stuff out for the future and all that. Because boy oh boy, with this chapter, we like literally now it could, like the next one after this could like really tell whether or not the entire series is going to change from here and all that. So let's just cut right into it as we talk right now like that, where we get to see the start of this chapter and all that with the Flowerstone King, which honestly very like comical and all that. Like you're expecting like this very you know, high omnipotent being and all that to be like, you know, very serious a lot of the time, but then it's like actually joking about, and it's like, oh, and then also as well this piece of shit and all that with like who's trying to steal the elves and like actually be a kind of asshole on the like Gus's thing, and that could have ruined everything. Is like, oh yeah, you humans and all that, yeah, you kind of, you greedy filled pieces of shit and all that. And it's just like, and she's like actually like exposing him by the like, yeah, even if you just stole the elves and like most of the shit and all that, you know, the Fantasia shit's happening and all that, and like the astral realm and all that, and it's like, you know, the prices are just gonna be shit, so yeah, you just pretty much just got screwed by yourself. And it's just like, oh yeah, you know, go fuck yourself and all that. And it's just like, yeah, just go and help like these weirdos in the forest the entire day. And then when you just go and see it, like, now then, like she just goes, after all that bullshit, let's start back up with the serious shit again. I'm the master of the theory of this island and but the Flowerstorm King known as Danan. And it was like, she's pretty much talking out, you really want to know and see if you can actually like restore the mind of this like young lady over here and all that. And just like Guts immediately jumping on it. Can you do that, please? Can you do that? Is there any possible way for her to return and all that? And like Danan just like responds and all that. It's like, if we use the passage of the dreams, then yes, most likely we can return her back to her natural. Now that's the thing. She said most likely. There is still the possibility of the chance that this could entirely fuck up, that it could go honestly tits up at any point, and then where anyone's just like going like, oh yeah, congratulations, isn't that release, you did it boss and all that, I knew you could do it. And just like Guts is there just saying like, you know, a sigh of relief and all that, just going, yeah man, you know, we're finally here and all that, you know, after everything. And I might say like, you know, regardless of what, there's still the possibility that that could happen, that the fact that, you know, regardless of what, like, she's like, she could not be healed. She could still be the same Casca that we've known for like 3/4 of the story like so far, like reading. And it's like pretty much I was saying like, we need people to assist her. And this is the one thing that I kind of like saying like, oh, the people who get the passageries, you need people that can like trust her and all that, and saying like, oh yeah, you know, the little witch and all that, and also as well the young lady, like, why didn't you help me? And like Guts is like, you know, I should be into this, well, like, you know, I should be here and all that. And it's like, you know, and then like, and it was like, no, she this girl, as sad as it is, like, you would impede the right, you honestly, she has a strong fear of you. And just when Guts does it, like, just looks there, and he's just like, you know, it's fine. Like, everyone's like, you know, you got Sharik there, she's like, look, I'm a witch still, like, you know, Farnese is one as well, trust in us, we're gonna try your best and all that to get her back, just have faith. And just like Guts, it's just like, I trust you. Like, generally Guts just looks so fucking just, but because that's the thing, like, she's terrified of fucking Guts, and do you blame him? But it's just like, now that you've seen like, this is where he is now, is like where he's let go of like all of the hatred pretty much that he's like had throughout the entirety of the series. And it's like, now that you think about it, like where Guts has come from the series and all that, if he generally, like, she generally can't return, like, Guts is just gonna go on a warpath again. Like, that's all he's gonna do. It's like, if this is the thing in my life, well, that I generally need to take care of. I was like, no, screw it. Griffiths die, all these people die, all these demons die. Like, he's gonna take out his rage on all of this stuff instead of like focusing on it, like what actually truly matters, which is, you know, Casca and everyone else. And it's just like, this is the part where it's like, oh, hey guys and all that, you know, like, have faith and all that, and you know, all we can do is pray and watch it. Guts has never done that in his entire life. Everything in his life has fucked with him. Generally, literally, and physically fucked with him. Like, trying to rape him, trying to eat him, trying to do both at the same time. And it's like, now is the time for him to actually literally do nothing. Like, he can't do anything. It's like you would make things worse. And it's like, what is like Guts supposed to do in this time? Just generally wait at that point and all that. And then it just like, it's such a weird thing for Guts now, like, just to be at that. And it's like, what's gonna happen? Because like every time like Guts, like, you know, like even with like, you know, like how Miura's like spoken about the story about Guts and Casca and everything about that, like between them, it's like he doesn't want Berserk to have a happy ending. And it's like, if that generally at that point, it's like, well, what's gonna happen? Is Casca gonna return, and is she gonna like completely get fucked up at the end, or like she gonna be like the only survivors, like with like, you know, Guts like fighting his way through like hell at that point and dying, like, you know, like what's gonna happen at that part, like, you know, because like I don't generally think Berserk's ending is gonna be, oh boy, we just sawed everything, oh that was a doozy, nobody died, nobody had any hurt or pain or anything happened to them. It's like, no. People are dying in that crew. People are going to get badly injured. And it's just like, that's what's going to happen. There's going to be deaths. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be people that are going to be mind-fucked and probably raped. And it's like, you're going to have whole terrible things happen to that crew. And it's like, not that, like, everyone that we're looking at in the entire crew, that's probably going to be reduced by 90% to 80% of the, like, people there. And that's even without getting to the final destination to even then. It's just like, thinking about it, and it's like how they're even going to work around with this whole Casca thing is all that, is that you're going to enter through her dreams to get through there. And it's like, we're going to sort this out, we're going to like go in there, we're going to pretty much, you know, see the events that like transpired, which is like, oh sure, oh I don't think anyone wants to see the eclipse going into that, like no one wants to see that suffering going through there, but no, we're going to do that. And it's just like, you know, just relax, go on these shrooms, I'll make you go to sleep and all that. And it's like, you know, the forgotten and the unforgettable memories, you know, the hidden thoughts and all of this is in the passage of dreams and all that. It kind of works in the same way as like the astral realm does. And it's like, this is where the chapter got really weird, as it was like, let's go and look at the dreams, let's have a look at Shriek's like dreams and all this, like where she's like goofing around with like, oh yay honey, and like enjoying herself, and like Isidro is out there like as a dumb monkey, he's like, oh screw you, you piece of shit and all that. And it's just like, no, like, you know, and beating him up, and just as this giant monkey just like, oh wait a minute and all that, this is supposed to be, you know, this is a dream. And it's like the Flower Storm keeps trying to guide them, and then like Farnese's dream is like, oh you're amazing Farnese, you do all the washing, you help everything, and fucking like Mogus, like the fucking priest from like the anime and from like the, you know, when they get the Tower of Conviction arc, is just like some washing like Paul is like, oh you're a true like Lamb of God and all that. And it's just like, I have that excellent scrubbing stuff, and it's like she's there cleaning the Berserker armor and stuff and all that, and it's like, it's cracking Mogus's face, and it's like, what the fuck like, what the fuck, like, it's so, honestly I think that's just brought up there because like there are going to be people like, well obviously and all that, they're caught up to like, they just saw the anime, oh is it going to be that? I feel like that, you know, like Miura just added that in for the part. It's like, hey, this shit, like let's just have Mogus because, you know, he's a popular character, and it's like, this is a big thing of Barney's, might as well add it in there. Just that feels like such a random thing. And then it's like, she generally gets dragged in, saying, you know, oh yeah, you know, you need to sort this out and all that. And it's like, you know, let's go to Casca's dream. And then this is the interesting thing about Casca's dream, and shows like how destroyed her mind is when you think about it, is that her entire dream is in like sketches. This is how she can really like depict like characters. She can't, like, even when they're talking, like she can't tell if they're talking, like you got these childlike sketches and all that, and then you see like Farnese and like, you know, you can't, and they're like, oh this is what their mind is, and you see like exactly all the characters are in there. And I know that's like, you think think, oh that's like, you can easily get away with that, like being lazy or something like that, but no, that's how simple and like broken Casca's mind is. And so we're in the surface of that consciousness, and we have to go deeper in there, and like Casca's leading them somewhere and saying, you know, oh the Flower Storm keeps driving us in there. But it's that last panel that concerns a lot of us as they're getting dragged and all that down. And it's the eclipse that you see that just the giant skeleton. Also as well, to be pointed out as well, is that if I'm not the only one that's noticing this and all that, which might be a little hint of something that like the things that come and all that. Also, you got that orb right around the middle that could be like resembling the eclipse. But look at how the clouds in that last page, especially how it looks. That looks exactly like the Berserker demon, like, you know, like in the Berserker armor. Like, that's exactly like what we've seen from that wall. That looks like that eye. It generally looks like. So that can symbolize maybe the Berserker armor, maybe like it's infested, like, you know, Casca in some way. Like, remember last time, like when he got possessed and he like was started like choking out, like, you know, like Casca and all that. Who knows? Maybe that might have gone into there, or that could symbolize something to come in the series and all that. But it's like seeing that the whole like the trailer, like, you know, like the leaves and all that. It's like that's where it's leading us to, and it's like we're at the point where Casca could potentially be healed, and I don't know, like, you know, just thinking more and more and more about it, it's like, I don't know where that's gonna go, because it either goes, oh, Casca's gonna come back, it's gonna be good, we're gonna lose people though soon, or it's like, we're gonna have some dark shit happen to it, and it's just like, you are gonna end it on that part, and you're gonna have a hiatus, and it's just like, oh, you need to know, that's the thing, but it's like, oh, we gotta wait months and months and months to wait for it, and it's like, this is the problem. It's like, good luck being in the, like, catched up on the Berserk train, because, like, boy, I hate to see how it feels and all that to being caught up now, and it's like, yeah, this is experience, and even with the people that are, like, who have generally been caught up for years and years and all that, it's like, you're just so used to it at this point, that to me, it's like, I'm still not used to the hiatuses, and it hurts me, and it's like, at least, like, there's a difference where it's like, with the hiatus from, like, Miura, he normally lets you know, with the exception of that 8-year one, it's like, with the exception of that long-ass one that he did and all that, it's like, at least he's letting us know, saying, like, hey, I'm returning here, and it generally feels like, if he has an exact plan saying, I am coming back in, like, 2017, early 2017, it's like, must be, it's like, there's a reason, it's like, maybe he is generally planning this out, maybe he does want to take a little bit of break on the side and all that, but it's like, I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing where this is going to be going with Berserk and all that. I genuinely have like where it's going to be going. I had like some good ideas, and that's why it's like I don't exactly score the Berserk chapters at the end, because obviously, you know, I fucking love the series. It's like one of my favorite up there. I generally don't score it and all that because like, I want to make more of, like, especially when I talk about Berserk, since it's such a rare opportunity I get to talk about, unless it's like moaning about the anime's adaptation, which like ended recently, or like talking about that. It's like, no, I get to talk a little bit more in depth with Berserk, and I get to, you know, be all spoilers fan, like, you know, on there, so I can talk about like all the stuff that's going on in Casca, and talk about, you know, Gus and all that, and that's what I love about doing these chapters, and especially with like how Miura has been with symbolism. I think like a lot of people remember like the panel where you got to see Griffith all fucked up, and then you got to see like immediately when you saw like, you know, Guts come out of the Berserker armor and he looked the same way, and it's like, you know, he does stuff like that to kind of symbolizes like, you know, like Guts and Griffith's journey and all that, going down the same road, and like seeing like, especially with like the cloud like that, and like, you know, the Berserker demon has been a huge part of the series and all that, so I don't know if that last panel is just there, it's just like, oh, it's just coincidence. No, I think like, you know, that's what it is, like that, what it's especially doing, and like how it's like got menacing like into the end of it and all that. So I'm genuinely looking forward to the next chapter of Berserk. I know we're gonna have to wait a while and all that. It's gonna be like, you know, like 6 months and all that, we've got to wait, but it's like, I'm willing to do that with something I love this much and all that, and it's like, you know, I fucking love Berserk and all that, and I'm really enjoying like where this is going. It's just like, it's an agony now knowing that we're just, this is how close we are. We are this close to getting that answer, and we have to like find out in another like couple of months. That's all from me, guys, so thank you much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in a bit.